Yo,
okay. I don't know how you see it, but I was seeing the bottom screen black and myself only.
Oh, I was there. We were both there, but I was totally frozen, and it seemed like you couldn't hear me at all.
Yeah, I couldn't hear shit.
So,
well, I think we're doing this, and this is recording. So, I mean, you get to go back and chop up the beginning and end, I guess, if you want.
Yeah. I'll try to fix it up.
Should we throw out a link or something just in case anybody wants to join?
Oh yeah,
and watch it live.
How do we do that?
Okay. So you see the three things on the side, like three dots? There's one, and you click it, it will say share. And I'm going to copy.
Okay, copy link. Now you're saying what, on Instagram do this shit? Hello? Yo. Now you're frozen.
Yo. Hello? You got me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
my picture is still frozen though, right?
Yeah.
I switched to the Instagram app that whole time, so it probably just went and fucked it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back in this. Watch it. I think I have this.
Okay. Yo.
This is it now. It froze because I went to the other app. I guarantee it.
Same.
So this is the same stream. I put the dumb little post out.
Yeah.
Voiceover off.
Just get comfortable, I guess, and then we can just start chit-chatting.
Yeah. Let's see here. I guess that's cool. I'll just prop this like this. Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I might. I've had the AC on all day. I might turn off the air conditioner just to hear you, like.
Probably help out long term with the audio a little.
And I got some music going in here. All right, that's better.
Okay, man. So I guess this is the beginning of the first live stream that I have ever done, and I don't know if you've ever done a live stream before.
No. Well, as you know, when we do the Mongo chatters, we do them through Zoom sometimes, so that's kind of like a live stream, but it's not actually
live.
It's all, like there's a lot of editing afterwards, so it's not. This is just totally live, I guess. But I think honestly, I don't think anyone's watching this right now.
No, I don't think anybody's watching. I think those two people are just us. But I figured it would just be. We can use the content later too,
Right.
The idea of this this little collab is probably that I was kind of thinking it'd be fun to start podcasting more again. I took a little break from podcasting. It was great. Really caught up with my fucking Miami Heat. Had a blast.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of wanted a little more free form of a podcast without editing, and so maybe if we enjoy doing live streams, we can do some more or something. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of the original idea of doing a podcast. Is it's more live and I got into the I guess I got cornered or painted myself into a corner as far as like heavy editing for every episode that I do. So it's like become like way more visual. But I did that on purpose, so I can't really complain, you know.
Well, that's why you're not just a podcast though. The videos, like, you have like skateboarding clips in your videos. So
Yeah.
I see how it's easy to get just obsessed over just the skate clips alone when it comes to editing, and then you also chop up the conversation a little, right?
Yeah. Well, I chop up the conversation. I don't like I chop it, but I don't doctor it. Like
Right.
it's all like I'll cut something out. I'll cut segments out. I'll cut out, whatever. I edit but I only cut. I don't splice. Like
Right.
I don't. It's all linear, and it's like, I'll only cut something out. I'll never like take two things and put them together to create.
Never.
You know what I mean? It's not that kind of editing. I feel like
I feel like neither of us are good enough to do that kind of editing, right? I feel like that kind of editing to pull it off is like actually super hard. I don't have the skills to do that.
Yeah, it's also like really like TMZ, current affair, like fucking, you know what I mean? Putting words in people's mouths. Like I'm
And
not
it's
into
like
that.
part of the. It's like about like spitting some shit. It's like free form a little the podcasting thing. It shouldn't be split up, edited like that. The editing is same on my show. Like just chop things out that when I sound like an idiot sometimes. So I'm just babbling about like taking 5 shits at a store in 3 days. Something like so. And some of that makes the cut, but sometimes it's not as good as it should be. So we'll cut that out. So we have a similar kind of show. Podcasting originally and still really is with some high level podcasts completely free form, almost like radio.
Yeah, I was thinking about that a little bit today because I knew we were doing this, and so I was kind of like I got all my accoutrements set up here, my little bong and my mineral water and stuff, and I'm like, I better not say or do anything during the live stream. It's
Right.
like it's a little bit different.
And also the camera, right?
Yeah, and you can see yourself too, so it's like I don't know, it's a little bit different. But again, I mean I don't, we don't have a lot of followers, and I don't think anyone's watching this right now, so
No.
it's a low pressure situation, I suppose.
It reminds me of when I was on your podcast.
Yeah. Okay. And that nobody's watching.
Well, because no, like it was kind of like we saw each other like this. That was my first ever time really internet podcasting, not in person, because my show's all in person.
Yeah. No, so that's awesome.
I needed to take a break from the show just because the editing, listening to a whole podcast, especially a lot of my podcasts are just myself talking. And then when I have guests on, I have rad guests, so we just go for a while. So then I have 2 or 3 hours to listen to.
Yeah,
that's almost as bad as listening to myself for 40 minutes, and that's my 2 options. But it's been great taking a break.
Let me ask you a question about your editing process.
Okay.
Do you like listen to the whole thing first and sort of consume it, or are you chopping as you go?
Kind of chop as you go, but yeah, I guess that's what it is. Chop as you go a little bit, but a lot of it is I chop up the breaks of me like grabbing or refilling the pipe. It's kind of a little more comedic, I think. And a lot of it is nonstop. If you ever podcast, when we did a podcast in public, but nonstop weed a lot of the time on the More On Voice audio show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I want to cut it out, or I just don't want the sounds of click clacking. So I'll just go along, get rid of that, get rid of me saying some stupid shit. Not really so much is completely trimmed out. So if I were to listen to the whole thing, I would maybe just let it pass. But now that I have such editing OCD, I actually couldn't do that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would have the only way I could ever edit is trim as I go now because I've been trained that way. I'm realizing.
Did you watch what?
How do you edit?
Oh, I do it as I go, man. I wish I could, like sometimes like if I've made skate videos, you can stop and watch the whole thing. and then like take a day and then come back and edit. You know, you like get that like you see the forest for the trees or whatever.
Yeah.
But with Mongo Chatter, it's such like a rip ride of editing from the beginning. You know, it takes me a month to do an episode at least. So it's like, yeah, I can't. I just got to edit as I go, unfortunately. Right. And sometimes, you know, I'll be editing and then I got to go to work. So it's like I come back and I'm in a different frame of mind or whatever than where I left off. Mm-hmm. So it's a super like fluid process for me, you know.
And if somebody's going to sit there and edit a whole podcast, just by listening to it, you're going to have to be taking time notes the whole time, right?
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
3 minutes bullshit. I cut out this until 3 minutes and 16 seconds, or Yeah. And that doesn't sound like fun at all. Then going back and actually doing it, then you know what you'd have to do: listen to it again after.
Yeah. Well, if you had, you know, and I know you and me are pretty much, you know, I have Simon as a co-host on many episodes, but like I know you and I kind of operate the same, where it's largely a one-man show. Like, so
right.
If you had a staff or some people that could, like, if you could sit there and listen to it and write down the times and then just give people a thing and they could just plug
like
an
editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a dream, you know, but I mean, I think they're expensive. I think that's a skill you make money with on like podcasting, you know?
Yeah.
You're better to learn how to edit if you're looking, but I mean, it would be great. Something like that would take multiple people on the same page for sure.
That's really what it is I've thought about reaching out to people before for help. But finding someone that's on the same page, because it's such an instinctual thing when you're doing it. And it's like, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, who has your instincts? Nobody but you.
Right. Like, who would know how to pause like this exact 9-second pause out of it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you exactly like your workflow and habits of editing.
Yeah.
You know,
and sensibilities as like creativity, like creatively, to like make sort of like executive decisions, like creatively, you know, like, yeah, that's a whole thing, you know. But
well, you've been doing making like longer form audio podcasting kind of content for like more than how many years? Like more than 5 years, right?
Yeah, well, a long time actually, like, but like start and stop style. I've been doing Mongo Chatter for 3 years now, consistently. Like, I mean, consistently. I think 1 year I took November. I took Thanksgiving to New Year's off. Like, didn't touch anything. But incidentally, at that time, was finishing a skate video. So it's always something, you know. But I used to do this thing way back in the day called John Hanks's Pipe Dreams, and it was I said it, like most things in my life, is loosely based around skateboarding, you know. But I had some people on, and they would like retract. They'd be like, we were doing it like this, like no editing. And they'd be like, I shouldn't have said that. Don't put that out. And that got fucking annoying, you know, like you're all stoked on a thing. And then someone's like, oh, I don't want to go through with it after all. And it was like, they were doing it just to do it, like for the experience of being interviewed, but weren't interested in the content, you know? Yep. But this was a long time ago. This was, I'm not, it's funny, like, it's funny, but it's true. But it's like it's on me because I didn't take it consistently. But this is definitely way pre 9 Club. You know what I mean? Like, and then I relaunched John Hanks's Pipe Dreams, and there's a couple of them online and stuff. That's basically the prototype for Mongo Chatter. It was interviewing people in their environment and splicing in B-roll for the conversations, you know.
Yep.
but I wasn't consistent. And then the pandemic kind of made me buckle down, and you couldn't see your friends really. So it was all Zoom like this, hanging out. And that was when I was like, oh, and also like the world was ending. So I was like, I really had to focus on reinventing myself and figuring out who I wanted to be in the new, the new
Right.
normal.
Okay.
And I said, I want to be well, I don't say this anymore because I think he got in trouble or whatever. He's like a pederast or he grabbed some interns or something. But I used to say, I want to be the Charlie Rose of skateboarding.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good interviewer, man.
I'm wondering, like, you're saying, like, you weren't consistent with things sometimes, like, but what does consistency mean to you? For example, before you answer that, let's say this is you pulling this out of my ass, bud. You got your typical skater guy who's maybe 45 years old, and he has skated the last like 6 years. He skated 3 times a year for 6 years, but he's still consistent because he skated since he was 15. That's how I kind of look at consistency. I'm saying I think you're giving yourself the shorter end of the stick, pal.
Well,
You're consistent with creative stuff.
Well, there's consistent, like I appreciate it, and everyone's their own heart. Artists are always hard on themselves, but
Absolutely.
I think you're talking about consistency of quality, which hasn't been an issue for me.
Right.
But a consistent routine of publishing content in a timely manner and putting it out and building an audience. I've only been doing that with Mongo Chatter for about 3 years. And even at that, like I feel like I sound like a broken record, and I know you and I have talked about it on your episode, on my podcast, and vice versa. But it's like even with a certain amount of dedication to doing this thing, like real life gets in the way, and you got to go skate, you got to spend time with your friends, you got to let loose, you got to do whatever it is that you have to do other shit. I can't just sit in a room and edit fucking conversations of myself over and over again. I'll go fucking crazy.
Even though when you're doing that, it's not always fun. And ideally, you would want to be doing that and enjoying yourself. But to do that kind of stuff, you need to experience outside of the art. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you're going at, right?
Yeah. And so maintaining, I think, my personality or predispositions are just like, like I can be a bit of a wild card. Like I like to travel and go skate and fucking gypsy out. And so it's like, it's hard to pull myself in and bring myself back to a routine of like, I got my coffee, I'm editing, I'm here.
Yep.
It's hard because like, it's like a double life almost of like being a dork who makes the fucking podcast, but you also are going out living your best life,
Right. Yeah, man. The podcast is nonstop. I mean, to do a show, even though your show is largely based on interactions with other people, so is mine. Especially in my later episodes, I was doing quite a few guests. But you need to have a life outside of podcasting to actually be a person. Like that's a big part of this whole thing, to like be yourself or be the person. So you're not gonna be able to be yourself without stepping away from the fucking editing or talking on a microphone or whatever,
Yeah. Sometimes I see these like YouTube personalities, and they're like, they have great stuff, but you and I know what it takes to create content. So it's like, man, they gotta like go to the skate park, set up the tripod. Like it takes a lot to create that content consistently, and you got to think like there's not a lot of opportunity to maneuver outside of those parameters of just creating that content as far as a social life or whatever. What it takes. So when you see people that are just around the clock posting every day, Twitch, YouTube, streaming, these are my thoughts, this is my reaction, this is, like they're like a presence online. It's really hard to have. I don't think you can either be an online person and have that presence, or you cannot. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
it's hard to straddle both.
What's fucked up, dude, is that I hate kind of the online presence idea, because no matter what, even some of those dudes who seem like total fucking dorks, you know, those same like thumbnails, like people smiling like complete fucking fools. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it transfers, it bleeds into all the different apps and stuff. They might be good dudes deep down, but like they're selling themselves to fucking do it. And I mean,
Oh yeah,
we're on a different level. We're not really going for that kind of shit. So good for us that we don't have to like, you know what I mean, have some fucking stupid thing. But I'm wondering, like, do you think there's gonna be much room for um like more long-term content, or do you think this is gonna be mostly, it could be skateboarding, podcasting, both can have longer content or shorter content? I don't know if I'm making my point.
like as far as like the trend of like,
Well, I feel like right now we have like an app for every length of content. You have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
wow,
Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And a lot of the youth like pisses on YouTube and shit. And a lot of the people who are you make the money on YouTube, it seems, you know, but it just seems just so strange to me nowadays that there's like these different sections where you're gonna watch different lengths of content.
yeah. I'm mostly in tune with Instagram. I don't really know anything about TikTok except it's like illegal in Montana or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is like Chinese, right? Originally, or
yeah, it's
something.
like Chinese, but well, I've heard
There's some
like
funny
even
stuff
Chinese
on there.
people, they don't let their kids use it. They're like, fuck that. Like it's like in China, it's like bad news, I guess.
Well,
From what I understand.
I actually don't have it right now. I'm in a More on Voice one, and I was trying to do like more music stuff on it, because there's like, it's just like everything. You could find skaters, music, fucking whatever you like, it will come up somehow. But some of the stuff's really funny. Some of it's good for like comedy and stuff, but it's a total fucking stupid app, dude. It's full of bullshit. And like
Yeah,
Instagram is too. I just like Instagram the best out of like all social apps, or like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit around and watch fucking YouTube all day. You know what I mean?
right. I feel like like okay, to me, if just from like outside. Well, I'm on Instagram all the time. I use that one, that definitely. But that's like skating clips and like keeping up with friends, whatever. But like, okay, TikTok seems like a cesspool, like you're saying, of just like wacky shit, like, and people that have, as far as if we're just talking about skateboarding, you know, so like people that tend to like, there's not a lot of like respect for like aesthetic and style from what I can see. Like TikTok seems like it's on some fuck shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I see what you're
Uh,
saying.
Instagram is kind of like more just like regular dudes, like, and gals, or they or them or whoever. It's for everybody. It's fuck. I'm fucking up.
It's for
Instagram's
people.
Instagram's for people, human beings, skateboarders that just kind of like post their clips, and that's what they've been doing. They're going. Sometimes they make edits. Sometimes they do stories, whatever. But it's just kind of just like your basic, like, you can take it or leave it. It's like your run of the mill, not run of the mill in a bad way, but just like your everyday
Every man's
skate chick.
freaking app, right? Or
Like
whatever
if you
it
want
is.
to know like what's going on in a city, you can find like a skater from that city and kind of see what their shit and do, maybe where they skate or whatever. It's like a tool. I find it's
Yeah.
like a useful tool.
And it connect. That's how I met you. You know what I mean? It does connect people.
Exactly.
I'm sure people meet through TikTok too, but I mean,
Probably. I
if you
and
do,
then
then you're a fucking wacko for sure. You know, if you're meeting people through TikTok, because you got to be fucking on one. Holy shit, that's definitely the most fake app there is too. But no, I used to have it, and it's fun. I think about getting it all the time because it's so funny. You know,
it's so funny you say that, dude, because lately I've been going, it's real hot here in Texas, and so I've been going skating, and then I find places to swim. And there's this town called San Marcos, and it's a college town. There's a river that goes through. There's like a little current. You can fucking get in the water, crack open a beer, and float down and finish the beer, and then you get out and you're like refreshed after the session. It's pretty great. So yesterday, I'm sitting there and I overhear these two people talking, these two girls, and she's like, yeah, I thought it was so weird that he messaged me on TikTok, like out of all the apps, like, and that's just they're walking by saying that TikTok.
Right.
But yeah, just that little slice of life conversation, like those two girls talking to each other about some dude
Oh,
like
I see it all
sliding
the
into her
time. I saw an
DMs
old
on
lady
TikTok.
over at the gas station. Yeah, we're live. I saw an old lady at the gas station, and she was like talking to the worker.
Yo,
And she's like on her phone. She's like, because she was distracted. She's like, I love my TikTok. She's probably like, I mean, not old, a 60-year-old, 60's old, but it's not a bad thing to be old. Stop old shaming people. But I
yeah,
mean,
for
I was
sure, dude. I'm
surprised. I was like,
old.
this old bitch is on TikTok. I'm not even on it anymore. But it's good. There's some creative people, and there's obviously bleed through. Like you were saying, like to have all three, you'll find if you have a social person. I don't really have social people I watch, but they're on all of them. You got
Oh
to be
yeah,
on
yeah,
all of
yeah,
them
yeah.
if you want to rock and roll. And we're not
Well,
really going for that. I've always enjoyed the more. I don't mind this video either. Seems pretty normal now, but the I podcasting just seems so easy, and I know like everyone's like everybody has a podcast, but it actually seems like it's not as common, and it seems a little more strange or surprising to people to say that I have a podcast rather
yeah,
than like somebody who has 5,000 followers. My buddy has like 10,000 followers on his TikTok, and that's like people are like less shocked about that. I think that's fucking insane.
that is insane.
He does
Yeah.
good, dude. It's sick.
I
He's
mean, dude,
handsome.
I've
That's
been
why he's
blown
handsome.
away just by the concept of social media from the beginning. Like when I started Instagram, and it was like, you like you would do a trick, it'd be like 15 seconds, and you would do a trick, right? And it'd be like just the ability back in the day, like when I say I had 100 followers, I'm like, wow, 100 people just watch me fucking skateboard.
Right.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
that's pretty sick though.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah,
I
for your little ego, you know what I mean? It's sick, but it's like, yeah, and then it's like, it just, it like, it's crazy. Like everything is like on Instagram. Like even like during like the fucking, like the upheavals and shit in 2020, I'd be watching on Instagram live, like people like at these gnarly protests, and like
yeah.
you would see the whole world, um, like in real time. Like Instagram just like took over the world, and I feel like
Instagram opened it up more than Facebook did for sure. What was your first one you had out of like all the fucking socials back in the day? Was Facebook your first one?
no MySpace. I want to say,
Me too. I had a
yeah,
MySpace. I love that shit because like you could like make it all different colors and like post pictures. It was like I would have like a lot of pictures of Blink-182 on my MySpace and stuff like that when I was like a kid. I got my first girlfriend from MySpace.
you did?
Yeah, I'm the girl I lost my virginity to.
No way.
Yeah, that's how I
That's
met her. She lived
amazing.
one town over. I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Hey.
Whatever, but and, yeah, that's my. And so then I was hooked on social media. Not really. I wasn't
Because
even
it
really.
got you
Actually,
laid.
I didn't have social media for quite a few years, like maybe 6 years or something, or I don't know how long it was, but years I went without Facebook or Instagram or anything. But
Dude, the first time I ever heard about Facebook, I was living in Vermont at the time, and I was living with this dude who was like moving weight, and so we lived in this house, and it was two couples and me, right? And one couple, the girl was like, okay, I think Facebook back in the day used to have to be a part of a college to like log in. You had to like have
wasn't it originally a thing for college kids?
for college kids, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was definitely before my time. But
so
I heard
this was
about
like
that.
at the tail end of that. It was like a college thing, and I don't know, they not a couple, but a guy and a girl from the opposite couples would butt heads, okay?
Right.
And they got into beef, and she said some shit on Facebook, was like, my roommate's name and address, and he sells XYZ and blah blah blah. And we were all pissed off because I was like one of his underlings, like fucking helping him sell weed, whatever, And like we were all bummed out on her, and she actually got like broken up with and kicked out of the house. and like asked to leave and all that stuff. And that was how I came to know of Facebook. I was like, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, well, before a lot of people didn't really fucking realize, they think it's a game or something. It's not really like when I was a kid, we would mess with people and stuff on there. Probably cyberbullying is what it really fucking was. But
Oh yeah.
it's like, then like, you actually realize you made somebody feel bad. It's like, yo, this shit's actually real. I had a realization of that when I was young too. That was a MySpace. I matured by the time I hit Facebook. And then Instagram was like tail end of high school is when that came out, and that's when I saw like that was more rad because like they were skating on it, and at first I don't think there was videos.
No, there wasn't. It was just photos, and then
I didn't like love it. I still don't love it. You know what I mean? But you need to have these. What I'm trying to get at, people, the whole 4 people watching, like, this guy loves fucking Instagram. I don't love Instagram. Want that on fucking point here. It's like it comes with the territory of doing a podcast. You have to be on one of them.
But like dude, I guess I do love Instagram because it like those little like. Okay, I used to live with a cat that was younger than me, my homie Jack, and like I didn't even know about iMovie on my iPhone. You know what I'm saying? And he
like you have the illest phone that you know how to use it, right?
Typical, because I'm like fucking old, So I'm like, one day I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm making an escape. He's like making an escape video on his phone, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, instantly I was just like, I want to do that. Oh, yeah. And so I think I do like Instagram because it putting these little edits together, and then it allowed you to do it for 1 minute, and you're like fucking screen recording a song from YouTube and manipulating, making a little. It allowed me to get creative in a lot of ways. Instagram's been the platform for my creativity, so I guess I do like it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I guess I can't say I fucking hate it either. When I'm looking at it, how you just kind of pitched it to me, and it's given me a platform a little bit to support my without doing, like I was getting at, like without doing one of those, you can't promote your audio show or your YouTube audio show. Your podcast.
If you meet someone and you're out in the world and you're all, I do a podcast, they're like, oh, do you have Instagram? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I got it. And it's been
ever
fun,
like, even if I tell people there, because I tell them a little bit about Mongo Chatter, and I'm like, yeah, it's meant to be watched more than anything else, but it's like, that doesn't click. It's like, back to your original kind of question or point or ponderance about like full length content.
Yeah.
Is like, I think a lot of people will watch the promos that I make and be hyped, but not actually watch the episodes. Right. A
lot of people like the idea of things, but then like when it comes to seeing like the number of how much of their life is going to be taken away to watch or listen, they may get discouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I get it. Like if I'm on YouTube and I'm just scrolling through, it's like, I saw this thing the other day. It was like Omar Hassan's board collection, and it was like 34 minutes or something. I'm like, I like
probably sick, but like, yeah,
it is probably sick. And like,
but you got 34 minutes for that shit?
Yeah.
You're not even editing for 34 minutes today. I'm just kidding. Maybe you are, but you know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're so right. Exactly.
It's fuck, I don't got 34 minutes for this crap. I got shit to do.
But yeah, incidentally, we're about to hit the 34 mark here any second.
Are we?
Yeah, so that's
maybe it's because you joined before, so I'm seeing 31.
Oh, right on. Okay.
I was like low key in the back of my head. I was like, I hope it doesn't like shut off after half an hour. Like, sometimes bullshit does that. We don't know how to do tech. I mean, me and John and I tried fucking doing this for a good 20 minutes or so, maybe longer before we started this show.
Yeah, if I'll tell you what though, Ian, if this thing existed on YouTube when I started Mongo Chatter, I bet you this is what Mongo Chatter would be. It would. I would never fucking. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, kind of, but this is kind of like Mongo Chatter. But Mongo Chatter, I mean, we haven't talked much about skating. We can talk skating if you want to, but.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I mean, this is I'm picking up similar vibes to when I was on Mongo Chatter, but you don't always do video chat either on your show.
No, sometimes I'm able to kind of get into a physical space. Like
I like some of the ones where maybe like it was a little more early on, and it was a little more unpolished that you did. Like there's one of with Tom in a parking lot, early episode.
Oh,
And I
it's
thought that was
actually at
sick because it was a
Amesbury
little
Skate Park.
quiet. Like I turned my stuff up, it wasn't quite as loud as I thought it should be, all the way up, but it was good, you know.
Oh, thanks, man.
And I like the whole idea of like sitting at a curb with somebody actually doing it. Like, I mean, actually sitting at a skate spot and just talking about anything. It seems interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I liked that, and I do have like voice, like we did it. I did it one time with success. The one that I did with Nate Newton, we were at Nashua Skate Park, and we used these little lapel mics. You know?
Oh, like a clip-on mic?
Yeah.
Are those sick or what?
Yeah, that was pretty sick. It was kind of hard to figure out, but like, it was so weird, dude, because I don't, like I kind of suck at the tech stuff, but it was like his like gearhead musician vibes like rubbed off on me for 40 seconds. And I was just like intimidated. So I was just able to like somehow like make it work and was like, here you go, here's your microphone. You know what I mean? Like I did not want to fuck up.
Yeah, I can do the mics and stuff, just not so much the computer shit, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was gonna be going live on my computer, all ready to go, and I totally dropped the ball. If it wasn't for John figuring it out on his iPhone, this probably wouldn't even be recorded.
So the only thing is now is like I'm so like, I know there's only 4 people watching, but like I'll have to like go back and name this thing and make a thumbnail, and like I'm so like OCD about, like I was telling you about, like, whoa, what are we gonna call it? Like,
oh right, just name it something like simple.
I was thinking the More on Chatter Mongovoice.
That sounds good to me. I see nothing wrong with that. And like, like we can have other people over or something, maybe, and like we can do one of these once a month if we want or something, because like there's no real prep. I mean, it'd be nice to figure out how to do it on a computer someday,
Yeah. No, that'd be funny. Yeah, like yeah, we could do that. We could like every other week,
even just one of us have a buddy
every other
over.
time, every other month, like you have someone at your house and then I'll have someone at my house. Right. And like we can just sit here and fucking well, actually it doesn't have to be at the house either because it's phones. So
yeah, so it can be at the curb.
Yeah, although the sound might be.
That's why I was stoked to use this. I wanted to use this one microphone that I recorded my first 2 episodes on a different mic, and I was excited to use this particular mic again, but I guess I don't know how to fucking use my things.
Yeah.
But
fuck.
No,
I wanted to ask you a question.
What is your question, bud?
Did you watch your episode of Mongo Chatter?
Yeah, of course I did.
Were you pleased with the editing, or were you like, oh, I wish you didn't cut that out, or why?
No, I thought it came out good. I don't even really remember much about what would have gotten cut out. I know we talked for a while. My voice was hoarse. I was smoking and shit, I think, though, throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was a fine show.
Cool.
I couldn't really tell you what the fuck we talked about right now off the top of my head. We're probably repeating quite a few things.
Yeah, maybe so.
But it doesn't really matter to me. That's like why this is kind of more of a hang loose show. For those of you who are listening, this is a hang loose show of the More on Voice audio show and Mongo Chatter.
Bing bong.
And another nice thing about this is like I never had to drink coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. People at my work are like, that's fucking crazy. But I'll tell you, taking a couple months off of podcasting, I was developing some serious stomach pain from all the coffee I was chugging, dude. Yeah. All the time. I would have like 1 sip of coffee in the morning and I'd want to be puking. Now, back to normal. No more stomach pain.
Good.
So that's been like the highlight of taking a break. I do want to get back on the ball of doing some more on voice, like stuff on all my stuff's still on Spotify. I figured all that out, which was sick. Hang loose.
Tony.
He's a good one, huh?
And that's Jake Tony. Oh yeah, he's one of the good ones, dude. He's one of the great ones. He's a great man.
We got 4 great people watching, and I think I'm not 100% sure, but 2 of them may be
us.
But at one point it said 1.
Who could it be now?
Hey, I'm kind of surprised at 4. I figured we'd be in the single digits, though.
In the negatives.
Yeah, I mean, if it could be, that's what it would be. I know that. Negatives is where we were at before we got this shit rolling, and I was fucking on speakerphone with you and on YouTube Live by myself. Check out my live YouTube videos. There's like 3 test videos of me sitting there like picking my fucking nose. It's insane. I got to put those on private. But yeah,
man.
if you ever just and anybody who's watching, don't know if you know the More on Voice Audio Show, not to just like shove my shit down people's throat, but
fuck it. Do
it's
it.
not
That's why
on
we're
my
here.
YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has nothing. It's all on Spotify at the More on Voice Audio Show or Instagram. So just saying, because I don't really use YouTube. I kind of forgot we were on YouTube.
Yeah, I forgot we're on YouTube too. It just feels like we're FaceTiming.
Yeah, I was thinking
then,
like I wish we could just record FaceTime and it was super easy. You'd think that it would be very simple to record a double conversation like this, but it's not.
It's really not.
Unless are we just like, I mean, I'm 31 and I'm not trying to say I'm getting older because I hate when like people my age are like I'm getting older and stuff, but it's like maybe I'm just getting fucking older and I'm forgetting how to use my phone and stuff.
I don't know though, dude, because when I was a little kid in the 1980s and like the tracking would go out on my VCR, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what
Yeah, and you would like hit the button to retrack it, right?
Yeah, there's like a little dial.
It kind of like make it all fucked up.
Yeah, I would get so fucking pissed off, or like if I would like before digital, shit would make me angry how slow the technology. Like you hit the button, and it'd be like eject, and it, like wouldn't eject. So you hit like power, and that you're like, and I was just an impatient little bird, So I'd be like,
Right.
and just getting like having this like reptilian brain toward like technology. Like I just fucking would be like hate.
Did you ever have any
technology.
like video games in the 80s? Did you ever do like any Nintendo or anything?
Blow on it, fucking.
I was picturing you
beat it.
blowing on it. I grew up in like 90s and I had a Sega Genesis, and I was a fucked up little kid, and my parents weren't rich or anything, so it was pretty dope that I like had video game systems. And I was like this 5-year-old, and I would get so mad playing games like Streets of Rage and Sonic the Hedgehog. I would hit my fucking system.
Yeah,
I can't believe I did that.
I never really did that too much, but I've seen a lot of friends throw their controllers. Like, I've seen friends, dude. My one friend, dude, his Nintendo thing was all ratty from him biting it. Like
just getting pissed off.
He would get so mad because he was good. He would get to like the end of every fucking video game and just like die repeatedly at like the boss and get so infuriated with his lack of perfection,
Right.
I never I don't know. I never like expected to. I don't know. Like same thing with skating. Like I've never really like. I've only focused like I think a board one time in my life, and that was like
same here actually.
Like I'm not like I've never really. I've had my moments, dude.
Tell me about when you focused your board.
It was during COVID, and I was like,
really? I was thinking you were like fucking 15.
No, that's what was so weird about it was during COVID, and it was like in New Hampshire, in like Rochester, New Hampshire, and I was like just driving around aimlessly and like smoking weed and like trying to skate like different random curves, and I was like going to places. This sounds fucked up, but I was going to places where people like weren't wearing masks because it was like giving me psychological discomfort to be surrounded by all the people in masks. It was like
it was kind of scary, right?
It was scary. So I would drive way up to New Hampshire and go skate a curb and get my groceries and drive back because there was nothing to do and the government's giving you $900 a fucking week, So anyways, I was up there one time and totally like not in my like wheelhouse, like my modern wheelhouse, like the top of my trick bag. I was trying to do like a shove it over this gap,
Front side or back side at least? Was it front side?
No, just a regular.
Nothing wrong with the back shove. Nothing wrong with the back shove.
Just a back shove over a gap, and I was like landing it like when you do a shitty tray flip and you land with like your toes on the tail, just like
I can't tray flip, so I don't know, but I know what you're saying. I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I can't. No, like that's the only way I'll do. So I was just like, I was doing all this shit little kid style, and it was making me mad because I'm a fucking veteran of skateboarding, and I was like getting so mad at myself and COVID and frustration and the world and not seeing my family and friends, and I just fucking
getting you down.
boop. I just fucking focused the board.
What was it?
What?
What was the deck?
Shoot, dude, I don't remember.
Oh.
It was like a popsicle, like a black label popsicle.
At least it wasn't like a fucking sick board is all, you know what I mean? Sometimes
no, it wasn't like a crazy shape. It was like relatively...
And it wasn't in front of anybody, huh? Nobody saw you do it?
Maybe like a car. It was in the middle of the
fine.
afternoon.
At a skate park, questionable. If that, I know you weren't at a skate park, but if you see a grown man focus the board at the skate park, I'd look at my friend and be like, what the fuck's this guy think he is, you know?
I'd be like, no, I'd be worried. I'd be like, what's going on with this guy? There's trouble at home.
Yeah, you know? I mean, if you're focusing a board at the skate park and you're like older than anything, I mean, if I've seen, even if I see a teenager throw his board, I'm about ready to be like, bro, fucking get out of here. You're bumming me out. It just, the vibe of throwing your board is such a bummer to me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was at an auto parts store.
Hey, but that's kind of like fit for the job, I guess, just to be hard ass. I focused a board after having it a week because I was just like pissed off. I think I was like 17, but my mom, like, she never bought me boards. You know what I mean? Classic story. Everybody's mom didn't buy them boards. You know what I mean? But she got me a board, and I didn't really know about like sizes that well. I thought I did, and it was like, looking back, it might have been like the wheelbase. Something was just off with this fucking 7.5 is what I was riding at the time. It was a pretty sick mystery, but I had it for a week, and I just fucked up a heel flip back when I could actually do a heel flip, and I just was so mad about it. I jumped right in the middle, and then instantly I was like, I realized how crispy it was because the plies were crispy still, and I was like, I don't have a fucking board. Never again did I focus a board.
Have you ever focused a board victoriously, like after battling something, and you're like, maybe you're filming something, and you're
no
just like,
way.
Fuck it. Like,
that's just not me. That's just, it's fine if it's you. That's just not me.
Yeah. No, I've never done it. I've never had that moment, but I've always been like, what would that be like where you just battle a trick and then you're like, you break the board and you're like, boom, and you have it and you're like, this is when I did X, Y, Z.
Right. I mean, I have a pile of old fucking boards that I just recently moved, and I dipped out of like 16 boards. I pared down from like 64 to like 30 something. Now I have like 16 something. And because I get so sentimental, dude, about old boards. Wow. I get so sentimental. But I landed the same tricks on these. None of these were like, you'd be hard pressed to find me landing a victorious trick. You know what I mean? Like on any of these. But
that's not true.
I love keeping fucking boards. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, apparently.
I can't. That's why I can't focus them.
You know? I only keep them if they're like somehow like noteworthy. If I like really, yeah. I don't know.
Some of these are like ones with like people I know's picture on them or something, or name on them, or like, you know. I can't get rid of a Pete's Pig. All my Powell Peraltas. I can't get rid of a Powell Peralta that still looks good for some reason. Just the graphics or and the color.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a fucking jackass. I don't even have that much. People have way more fucking skateboards than me. These are disgusting, dirty 10-year-old boys.
Dude, you know, I mean, this is such like classic, like fucking old guy skate podcast talk right here that I'm gonna delve into. But
let me grab my phone charger real quick, John. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, right, that's cool. I'm gonna get a Topo Chico.
I'll be about 1 second.
I'll take the people with me so it's not boring. These 4 people. We'll walk through the world to get a Topo Chico together.
All right, we'll be rocking and rolling in a second here. Live show. We're still new to it, so there's gonna be some little hiccups here and there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the fucking goddamn user experience, you know. So I was singing them a little lullaby. Oh, dude, we got a thumbs up. Someone was that you that gave us a thumbs up?
I thought it was maybe you because I saw it a while ago and I was like, oh, John must have like done that.
Oh shit!
I'm kind of situated pretty decently. I think it's charging. I just don't want to like the screen and have to go away.
I know.
So
I didn't
reposition
sign up
it. Sorry if I'm making everybody
dizzy. Paid advertising. It's not paid advertising, you know.
Oh right, yeah, you gotta let people know.
But this stuff's wicked good, and if they want to fucking sponsor yours or mine or both of our podcasts, or send any.
What is it? Water?
It's mineral water.
It's mineral water?
Mineral water.
What's it called?
Topo Chico.
Jesus Christ, dude, that sounds delicious.
It's
Is
some
it kind of
hardcore
like
Texas
Pellegrino or
shit.
something?
Like, I'd be living on this shit, you know? It's from
Looks great.
It's from Monterrey, Mexico.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if anybody has any connections there, I'm a big bubbly waters.
Dude, for a while,
pretty much a strict.
push it as aggressively
I'm
as
pretty
I
much
might
strict
have, but I
water
really
topic.
wanted Polar to sponsor me. Polar. Yeah,
God,
and
they're New
I
England
mean
brand.
Worcester, Mass, the carbonated beverage, not the skateboarding company from France.
Right, but yeah,
Is Polar from France?
the beverage
Polar?
is from New England. No, not France. I think that maybe Germany.
They
or
have
something.
wicked fancy Euro vibes to me.
I don't think I've ever had a Polar. No, I never had a Polar, but Dane Brady or Brady or I don't know these guys' names. He's in Thrasher sometimes. He's like
What? Oh, okay. I thought you meant your local.
That's what you'll get when you go there.
Well, dude. But there's some crazy stuff going on around there right now, though, right? South Portland, Portland expansion, Derry, New Hampshire.
Derry, New Hampshire, where I haven't been, but everybody's saying it's the best. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's great.
Salisbury. Yeah, that little like mini kidney bowl thing. Yeah, we're breaking up a little bit, dude. I don't want to break up with you yet. Not ready.
Yeah, I know. It's a little early. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's try it.
I think.
I'm just gonna. How's it now? Can you follow? Like if I'm talking,
it's better.
Yeah. So
it's blurry, but like, oops.
No, that's over. It's blurry.
It's blurry, but the connection's better. Like the like.
Maybe I'll just hold it for now. Sorry, guys. So it's fine right now, John.
No, it's all. Katoni, sorry. Who else? Katoni and.
So pretty much like the South Portland skate park is like my new favorite skate park in Maine. I'm a big Maine skater. It's pretty much the only place I really fucking skate.
And there's some rippers
at South Portland.
That whole area.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Actually, I had one little guest question, and I was gonna forget about it, but he wanted an opinion. If you have any opinion of, he wanted Maine. I'm saying who has the best airs in New England? Airs. He was saying in Maine, and I was like, John doesn't know. Like, I know you want me.
Oh, but I know. Oh, no. Who's the dude in Maine? With the ramp and like the curly hair, and he's got like a Lost Boys dangly earring.
Oh yeah, is it a green ramp?
It's like a green ramp. He skates.
Yeah, his
Portland,
name's Addy. His name's Addy.
Addy, that dude rips. That dude has some sick airs. I'll tell you that much. Oh, also, well, you got the Santos boys. Fuck. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
my vote's Chris Peterson.
So Addy, can you?
Hey, I hear you. Hold on a second.
What's all this then? Hello. I'm here. Can you see me?
I'm
Oh
right
man,
here.
we we lost our viewers. They said, no. Is that good? Yeah, so I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know Maine like you know Maine, right? Like you're saying. Okay, but even so, New England wise, I'll say that dude Addy still has some great airs. New England wide, man. I gotta think of some shit that I've seen, you know? Well, a lot of the I mean,
Right.
all the old like 5'9" crew and like Kevin Day and all those dudes from Newport Skate Park back in the day used to fucking blast. Like
Skateboarding.
Jeff Shank.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, Jeff Shank.
What's the highest air you've ever like? What's the biggest thing you've ever aired? Not the highest air, but what is the
Me?
biggest wall you've ever went above coping on? Yeah, personally, like
Yeah.
not the highest air.
There's
You understand? Not like I'm not saying like did you
I don't know the height. I
you
don't
got it.
know the some of the heights like, but it seemed pretty high the other day at this place, the Cat Palace. There's like it's like a
Oh man, I
backyard.
never been there.
Yeah, it's in San Antonio, well Selma, Texas, but it's there's this capsule mini ramp thing with like this wall that goes up, and that's pretty tall. And I didn't think I was going to be able to slash it, but I did.
Did you get above the coping and get an air out of her?
It's not really coping. It's like it's just the wall just stops, and it's like fucking aggregate, like you know.
That's
So
sick though.
I kind of
Oh,
it was kind of just a glorified edger with like a little bit of truck in there, you know, like a spicy
right,
edger. It wasn't like it was like
dude.
I just did a kick turn and went as high as I could and was like, but it took some oomph to get up there. What about you?
Dude, a fucking edger. I mean, I wish that would be the most amazing skateboard feat. One wheel on.
Mm,
I wish I could just bust all I've ever freaking gotten a like an air on or anything like that. I don't really skate huge things all the time. 9 feet's pretty big for me, dude. I get fucking scared.
yeah.
You know, the biggest thing I've ever skated is probably a Rye. Was that big half pipe at Rye Airfield? Was the biggest half pipe. I didn't air on that. I never ever touched the coping on that, but that was probably the biggest
Where,
ramp I've ever
Rye?
seen in person. Yeah, that big giant vert ramp they had right before they closed. That was
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever seen a thing made to skate as big as that.
Yeah.
That thing was huge. I mean, would you drop in on a 15-foot vert ramp? I wouldn't. I'll tell you that right fucking now. And I claim to be like some fucking badass. Like it's
It's
like, dude,
funny because
that's
yeah,
too
I've
big.
always prided myself like it's like I'll drop in on anything just to like because I'm like I could, you know.
Right.
But like once you drop in, what's gonna happen on the other wall is my question.
Exactly, man. Like, am I gonna want to do a backside kick turn and accidentally do a giant backside air, or do I feel like just like eating
And
it
just
on a front side grind?
or dude, do a backside kick turn, but kind of like you're not like tucked down. You're like extend your body and you just Superman out to flat. You know what I mean? Like that's like my biggest fear is like I'm not gonna handle the momentum. And like I would definitely like tighten the fuck out of my trucks to even like think about it. Dude, I feel like this happens sometimes when Simon and I do the Zoom calls for Mongo Chatter. It's like as the duration lag.
Feet
Sorry.
breaking up again.
Yeah. Can you? Are you getting this?
Let's try this. I just keep on unplugging. It's set.
Should I try to move my shit around? Should I go to a different room?
For some reason, I was just like unplugging. My phone was dying, so I just had it plugged in. I unplugged it, and then it was just falling down before, but it seems to be working now. So, what were you saying? What were you talking about?
I was talking about if you, my big fear would be like you drop in on the 15-foot vert ramp, and then you get to the other side, and you're like not prepared for like the kick turn, so you just kind of like Superman out, like you know what I mean, and free fall to flat.
You know, it's just like that's a long way to freaking be Supermaning.
Yeah,
I pretty much keep. I keep it like pretty much under 8 feet, 9 feet on most things I skate these days. I'll skate something bigger. I'm not saying I won't. You know I will. You know.
Yeah, no, and to me, it's a lot different to work up speed and slash something like a really tall quarter pipe than just be in the like the you know, the fucking
yeah.
It's fun though. I think it's fun to challenge yourself and like maybe try like, you know, for me like in air is like 7 feet under coping, you know, like if you're like riding a vert ramp, you're just like, oh, I did an ollie, cool, you know.
Yeah. I was just skating. Remember that little tiny half pipe we skated in Biddeford at Clifford Park?
Yeah.
I was just skating that with my buddy yesterday. We were just fucking around, popping like ollie nose grabs above coping on that little. It's like a 2-foot quarter pipe. And I was like, this is like the most legit nose grab I've done in like maybe ever, honestly, you know? So that's probably the biggest. The last time I did an air was yesterday on a 2-foot quarter pipe. But it was fun. I like I'd rather fall closer to the ground, even if it's gonna hurt more, than like watch myself slow mo fall off big shit.
Yeah, at that Cat Palace place, like
right
on that session the other day, it was like a week ago. But I was filming my buddy do a line, and so I was trying to like keep it dynamic and like roll around the Hello from Ireland. How about that?
Interesting.
Is that your homie?
Nope. I know no one in Ireland. Thanks for joining the More On Voice Audio Show and Mongo Chatter. Check us out on Instagram.
Yeah.
More On Voice Audio Show and Mongo Chatter.
This is, if you're not familiar with what this is we are two podcasters that do like more of a presentation style episode. And this is a live freeform on the spot collab.
The first ever.
First ever. First of its, not necessarily the first of its kind, but likely to be one of the best.
One of them, for sure.
I mean, who's better than us?
What do you think about like what you said? I can tell you why I thought of this. You said something that made me think of this. Progressing with skating is a big part of skating. Whether some people progress slower and through their whole life and they skate forever, and some people continue progressing even when they're older than you. Or I'm not calling you old. I'm sorry about that, but you know what I'm saying.
No,
you're the oldest
dude,
person around me right now. Come on, I'm 31. But it's like progression versus being satisfied with your abilities and being content with your skateboarding. Like, where are you at?
I'm pretty stoked. Like, I'm one of those people that progressed really slowly
Me too.
For how long I've been skating. Like, like I've seen people come and go already that like already were like sick and came up after me and like developed and they're already burnt out.
I absolutely, I agree.
And they were better than me, right? You know, because they could do like the flavor of the month technical tricks of the day down the obstacle of the day, you know, which is like I got t-shirts older than you.
Is that what he said?
No, but that's what someone said to it. That we that's like we were at a show one time and we were at an H2O show one time and like
one of my favorite bands.
Rusty Pistachio said that to fucking some kid. He was like, "I got
did he?
older than you."
I wish it was me.
We just say that all the time now.
That's
like,
legendary.
now this was 20 years ago, but
right?
yeah. Anyways, dude.
Before
So
H2O was even old, by the way. Now H2O has like gray hair. Rusty's all white.
I think Rusty had gray hair even back then. Truthfully,
he was always had like a higher testosterone level for sure than most punkers, right? He was always more of a burly guy than a lot of the punkers I've seen.
And he's like a fatherly influence in that band, you know?
Yeah. I've heard Toby on his podcast talk about Rusty back in the day being their protector. He would like keep them safe from Hicks and stuff. He'd fight the Hicks for them, which I thought was like pretty fitting.
I could see that, or maybe even bro down with the Hicks, like
come to terms with them a bit, maybe.
Yeah,
set them down and see eye to eye. Like punks aren't that much different than you guys. You know?
Yeah, I've come to terms with the Hicks of my zone, you know.
Hey, I listen to country music and I listen to like new country, not new. Like I like 90s country personally, but
yeah, okay.
I got a little bit of Hick in me. I'm from Maine.
George Strait, Garth Brooks.
Strait, great. Garth Brooks, great. You know, I like Toby fucking Keith. I don't know if he's like canceled or if he said anything bad, and that's not.
I think all those guys are canceled.
I know that's the thing. It's like I don't support anything these fucking dicks. Rusty, Rusty always had the grace for sure. This guy's saying, but I got a little bit of hick in me. But yeah, progression, like you were kind of saying, like you're pretty stoked right now and shit. Then we got hyped on like H2O. So like the progression versus being satisfied. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, so it's like okay, so I've been doing it for so long to where I used to feel like, oh man, I should be better, but I didn't realize that it's actually. I was getting better in all kinds of these ways that were like nuance, like carving and pumping and pushing and bombing hills and like things like I guess more in the gnarlier field or like than the less technical, but it was like always. And now I feel like it's unfortunate because I'm not a kid anymore. I have the body of a 43-year-old, but I feel like now I have this whole lexicon of muscle memory and like skill set that like I can learn any trick because there's a backdrop of information to pull from. Whereas when I was a kid just trying to throw myself downstairs, it was like it probably looked like shit.
Out of pure ignorance, right?
Yeah, it might have been like I might have done like that 360 flip, but I landed it all crappy. And it was like in my 30s, I kind of broke my back and I was like told I wasn't going to skate again. And so
I think you mentioned that, but that's fucked, dude.
So it was a real blessing to come back. And that was, 8 years ago. And so I've spent these last 8 years, I think, progressing in ways that I never fucking would have imagined that, if you told me at 18 that I would be in San Antonio skating the Cat Palace, skating big bowls and shit like that, I thought I'd be done by now,
Right. Then you don't take it for granted when you're there. You can give it the gas if you get excited, right? And like go kind of hard still on your board.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to like hype myself up or whatever, but it's like
no, that's not what it's about. It's just like that's not. I'm sorry, I'm speaking over you.
No, it's cool. It's just when I'm skating, dude. I enjoy it so much, and it's so like. Sometimes I make more of an effort to keep it at a certain level because I get so hyped. It's like I boil over and I'll get like hurt because I'm not trying to be like I'm always stoked, but like I have this like right now I know I'm gonna go skate tonight and I'm like there's like an anxiety like bubbling in my stomach that I like love. You know what I mean?
That's sick, right?
Like I'm
that's
like
because you actually love skateboarding. Some people
skateboarding.
Right. No, you actually love it, and like I feel different but similar in ways. And like what you were saying about maybe you didn't learn like sophisticated tricks, but you were getting better on your board with things like carving or bombing your hills, and how that transferred later in. And obviously you learned tricks too. You weren't just riding down hills. Same here. I like to tell people I just rode down sidewalks and hit curbs, but like we fucking knew how to ollie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, tricks are done. Tricks are done.
When you get older, you kind of have like almost like the letters, and now you know how to spell the words. Like you have like the muscle memory, and then it's like easier to plug it in. But at the same time, it's super easy to just fucking do the same run every day as you get older skating, and that's something I try to fight, like doing the same shit every day.
No doubt. M.
Yeah, is this like your friend or something?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be spam from Ireland. I don't know.
Oh, it might. Yeah, it looks like it might be spam. Maybe they're repping the M from Mongo Chatter and More On Voice.
Or Miami.
Oh, maybe Miami didn't do too well in the playoffs, and it didn't really break my heart. They didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. But that's what I did a lot during this podcasting break, was I watched a lot of basketball. It was great and relaxing.
I'm so surprised you're not a Celtics fan.
I grew up liking the Celtics. I always liked even though I've never been to Florida, but my grandfather was a Florida sports guy. But I grew up a New Englander, and we had like don't really like the Celtics, especially after all the shit talk from this fucking season. There was some heated they were in the playoffs against Miami right before the final round, and there's some heated talk I was walking around Maine with this hat. I couldn't walk anywhere without people bitching at me. You know, I was like, fuck the Boston Celtics after this for sure. Everyone's like, I was walking down Home Depot. I'm not saying it's a civilized place, which I did. Walked into Home Depot, dude. Went straight to the bathroom. And like, I hate using public bathrooms, but like, I will. I'm not one to like ever pass. I'm just like, this totally sucks. And it did suck. Took a dump, walked out of the bathroom, and this guy sees my hat and he goes, Miami, and points at me. He's like yelling from down the fucking hall. And I was like, Jesus, dude. Wow. He went in the bathroom after
that. Hey, what's the gnarliest place you ever took a dump?
You know, I never took a dump outside or anything. People always probably assume I have, but I've never done that. I mean, I've taken a lot of dumps in questionable porta potties. What's up?
No, sorry, that's where I was going. Like the worst toilet in Scotland type of dump. Like, what's the worst like venue you've shat at?
Probably like the worst, besides like in my pants, which was definitely the worst dumps I've ever taken, were ones when I.
Yeah. So you're talking. We're getting deep in the.
You know, this was like a lot of my stories. People say like, you never talk about fucking what happens like. People here don't like poops. I love my poop. Damn.
It's breaking up a little bit.
I think it's good, right? Check this out. I have an idea. I'm plugging my phone and putting it back in. How's it now?
Yeah.
Is it?
What are you saying? Something about pooping?
It's gotta have something to do with the phone trip. The worst dump I ever took. Okay, I left you guys on a cliffhanger. Worst fucking dump was when I was a child. Yes, another childhood story. But I was on the beach with my mom and dad. You know, when you're like a kid, you're like picking up shells, like dicking around with your family on the beach. This is like in the evening. And like this area of Maine, there's like a lot of like parking lots before the beach with porta potties in it. And we were like parked down there this whole time on the beach, dude. I was like saying like, I got to use the fucking bathroom. That's not what I was saying. I was 4, but I'm saying like, I got to use the bathroom, mom. I'm this little kid. I got to take a bathroom. They like think their kid's just being a little pussy. Like, shut up. You just had Burger King. I just had Burger King before this. I remember. But anyways, we're on the way back. They're finally starting to take me seriously because I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. And liquid diarrhea, once we got to the door of the porta potty, liquid diarrhea came all over me. I mean, I'd never seen so much. It was straight Burger King. I had a milkshake, little kids meal. What's it called? Little Happy Meal or whatever. And that was still the worst shit I ever took in my life. It was like, it might just because, you know, when you're younger, shit seems more fucked up. But this was like, because I was in shorts and like no shirt, and I was right in front of the porta potty, and it was so hot on my legs, on my sandals. You know, this is like, had my sandals on. So that was the weirdest, the weirdest shit. If I don't know if that counts. I mean, it just might be like the worst. What's their worst story? You could have asked. You would have had the same story.
Did you just like go in the ocean immediately, or how did you deal with that situation?
My mom like took our beach towel and like cleaned me up and like wiped my ass really good. And we had like water bottles. and she like squirted. She cleaned me out. Like what's that thing that squirts your asshole for
A
you?
bidet. She bidet.
She was kind of like bidet me. She was a good mom. Bidet that day. She took the water bottle and squirted me a little bit and like cleaned me up. And then we just like we went home for sure. That was it. We already had Burger King.
It happens. I don't know what's going on with this fucking thing, man.
Probably the worst dump I have. It seems to be. I had one of those in Louisiana, fast food place while driving cross country with Corona. Ha ha ha. Yeah,
No.
I mean.
No. With Corcoran. He's talking
Oh,
about.
okay. I didn't see it.
He's talking about the dude that you met.
I thought he was sick.
He's talking about the dude that you met in the sub shop or whatever.
Wait, what?
My friend Chris, like you met my friend Chris in the sub shop or something?
Oh no, yeah, I met him at the like vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Portland. Yeah, no, totally. That was that him?
No, well that's our friend, and apparently.
Oh, okay.
They were driving through.
That was hype that that guy came up and he was like, "Yo, I'm John's friend too." It's like, are you kidding me, man? Because it was like right after I was like, he must have been a good friend because right after we like worked together. Or something.
Yeah, I wish he had just been like, "Yo, didn't I just see you on Mongo Chatter, bro?"
Well, no, he kind of was though. He's kind of was wondering. I think I probably had the same clothes on or something because you know how it is. You wear like the same T-shirts. Like I get in vibes where it's like for 2 weeks I'll wear like 2 shirts and then I'll never wear them again. So it's probably in like the same outfit I was on in your video, or I don't know. But no, he was cool. I really was happy that he reached out. I think he texted you a picture of us to weird you out a little bit, right?
Pretty sick. That's the best, right? When you see two of your friends come across each other out in the wild and they send you a picture or something. That's the best.
I've gotten a bit of that through doing the podcast and just getting social media back. Because like I said, I didn't have social media for a long time. But
hey,
yeah.
How was it? How was it kind of working with or interviewing Justin and Paul?
Oh, that was fucking rad, dude. So pretty much, obviously, I've known Paul most of my coming out of Maine and seeing like people in New Hampshire skate from skating with like Eric and Nick and Chris Santos and stuff growing up. So I always knew Paul was a ripper, knew all the stories I've heard, but I never really talked to him. So that was rad to sit down and chit chat about whatever we talked about. But I met Justin from social media. I don't know if you ever knew that.
No, I just figured because he and Paul kind of roll together a lot.
Yeah, they're buddies.
So I thought maybe.
Yeah, Justin is the one who said, maybe I can have Paul come on the show too. And I said that would be pretty awesome because I like doing podcasts with more than one person. It can get a little hectic. I understand some people don't like listening to 3 or 4 people.
Yeah,
but I don't mind it. I can follow shit along just fine. But no, that was great. I met Justin because he saw my the T-shirts I did with the like Misfits style.
Oh yeah.
He like saw it and thought it looked cool, so he like. I'm pretty sure that's like how he noticed it, and then it was like, oh, he clicked on it and probably saw that I had some people that he knew on the show.
Yeah, because like I was really stoked and impressed too because we've all seen Paul around for the years, but I've just really I don't know him that well. Like I've just really only ever seen him like kind of like skate and not like talk a lot.
He's a really good skater.
Yeah, like a silent killer in a way.
My favorite kind of skaters are the silent killers.
Yeah. So it's like that's fucking rad that you got him to be on the podcast.
A little bit over the Brad Edwards with deck that was out years ago. He rode one ever made that they won't bring back.
Yeah, well, I remember you telling me about Brad Edwards when you were on Mongo Chatter, like the influence.
It's like hard for me not to talk about Brad. Whenever I like talk about skateboarding because that board will always come up, But so I was hyped that he got down on it too. He was really, really good skater. Paul skated quite a few of those as far as I see. So I always think of him on that board, and I love that kind of skating when you're not.
Yeah.
But you might learn how to skate any.
Dude, do you know who that guy
Right.
Tony is? He used to skate at Rye and wear like all white, and like the first time I saw him, he was like he was rolling into the Clover Bowl on this like.
I don't think so. I don't think
Dude,
so. No, I
he's a
can't really
wild
think of it.
motherfucker. Like, I made a video and he had footage in it, and I texted him to ask him what his last name was for the credits, and he wouldn't tell me. So, so I just called him Tony, and it stuck. Dude, I don't know. Fuck.
Today you don't know his.
No, I do know. Yo, I do know his last name now because he went into real estate, and so I know his last name because he was like, but dude, I don't know. It's like, it's not like I'm not like saying anything that's like not true. So I'm not like I like the dude, but it's like he's just he's just wild, dude. Like, I don't know, like his style is real wild, man. I don't know.
You know,
but the first time I met
wild
him,
when they described their skating with just like laughing hysterically.
No, it's not his skating. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story, right?
Yeah, yes.
One time, it was like I was skating with him, and he just gets hyped. He just gets hyped, and he's like, he goes, and he just says crazy shit. Like, you know how like skaters are. Like, skaters used to be real crazy and just say wild shit. Like thinking like this dude's like not trying to be like the Gons, but he's like Gons-esque in a way. Just like his like he's like, so we're riding along in the car, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I kind of want to take a shit in the woods today, and I'm like, oh, all right. So then I'm trying to go skate, and like I always smoke weed, so like I'm trying to like smoke on the way to the spot, and he's like, no, man, like, let's go. Like, he's like, it's sick. Like, let's go on these back roads and like go on a burn run, like the old days. And he, like, I guess hadn't smoked weed for a while or something. So I'm like, I'm humoring him. I'm indulging him. So we driving around the little thing. And then he's like, somehow he gets me to pull over, and we're in the woods smoking weed, right? And then he like he did something with like he like stubbed it out or like messed it up, like messed up the joint. And then I'm like trying to fix it with this other lighter, and and I look over, and he's just like, dude, 10 feet away from me, just not behind anything, just taking his shit, just like
He did it.
Like squatting in the woods. Like, it was all a ploy to fucking lure to be in the woods so he could shit. It was like an elaborate ploy. And I was so mad, dude. I was so bummed out. I actually went back to my car and took his board out of the truck and fucking left him in the woods.
Oh, so you gave him his board though?
I left his board, yeah, but I was like,
yeah. So he could skate home.
No, we were like a mile from the skate park. I was like, this fucker can
so
skate
chill
here.
What did he wipe with?
I don't know, but he every single time that I skated with him, he always wore the same white pants and white sweatshirt.
That's a tight look, though. You ever rock white pants?
Yeah.
I've had a pair of white pants in my day. I think I've had a couple, actually.
I never used to, but I kind of do now.
It's cool. You just got to embrace them getting trashy, or you just got to keep them clean when you go out, right?
Yeah, or just I use a lot of bleach with the laundry.
Yeah. My last pair, I would just like purposely let it get. They had like it was like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups of coffee probably dumped on them eventually. So they're kind of like brown. And I
Yeah.
look like a total jackass in them too. If there's any footage of me skating, there is footage of me skating in the white pants, and I remember being like, maybe it didn't look that cool,
I think the only white pants that I would wear would be like the classic Dickies, though.
I
Like,
was gonna say, yeah, like 874s,
yeah, or the Carpenter, like I have like the white painter pants.
painter pants. Yep, those are good. Well, that's the
But
standard white pant. When you're talking about a white pant, that's probably the standard, right? I had white Levi's because I just did, and I had the white jacket too. Different
white
occasion.
Levi, dude, white Levi's is hard as fuck, dude.
It was hard, but it's also hard to like want to fucking wear all white all the time. So more power to your friend who wore all white.
Yeah. Well, and it was sick because the way that I met him was at Rye, and he was rolling into the Clover Bowl on this like longboard,
That's sick. Was it like a longboard for tricks or like a ride down
No,
the street longboard?
like a
Like
sector
King
9.
10 kinda?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like I don't know how you like would carve a bowl on, like you'd be like bottoming out on a driveway in like a fucking Oldsmobile, you'd be like
God. Was
the
it from the
Clover Bowl.
extension? What was he rolling in on?
Like
that
the
deeper
taller part, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that
It's
was
just like,
pretty
boom.
steep.
It's pretty steep. It's pretty scary to do on like a regular skateboard.
Yeah, and it's pretty slick on a regular skateboard too.
Yeah.
Even if you have grippier wheels, I mean, that thing was slick.
Yeah. It was awesome though.
Well, I mean, I don't know how long we should go for, really. We've pushed over an hour, pushing on an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything what's going on. So what's up? What do you want to
Well, what's your plan like with your podcast right now, do you think? Like, I mean, you just put out some shit.
Yeah, I'm working. So I do have a long-term project that I'm beginning to work on that I'm excited about.
With the pod or separate?
It's going to be a Mongo Chatter Presents type of thing, and it's going to be basically a documentary. Like I'm going to do a long form Mongo Chatter. I'm going to continue to do the episodes, and I think if all goes well, so I'm editing episode 41 right now, and so episode 45 will probably be around Christmas time or something. In all reality. And that might be a really cool time. So it's either going to be a separate thing like Mongo Chatter presents XYZ, and I won't say what it is right now, but it's going to be a cool documentary. I think that people will be interested in this, and it's going to be like dealing with a friend of mine that's like like known in skateboarding and stuff like that. So it should be cool. I don't want to hype it up too much.
You get me?
What?
What drives you to like continue doing this kind of stuff? Because everybody has their own reasons. So like making content is kind of comes natural to a skater, maybe, right?
Yeah. It might it might have something to do with mental illness one way or another, and I'm not just saying that to be funny. I think it's like sometimes life is really hard for me, like normal everyday life, like just traffic and errands and self-care and like that kind of thing. And I just feel at ease, like my brain doesn't hurt as much when I'm being creative,
Right. I think that's probably a good reason why a lot of artists do it. Everybody has multiple reasons too, I'm sure.
And as far as Mongo Chatter, like it would just be lame to stop at this point, because it's like I know the numbers are low. Like if you see this or whatever, please like and subscribe. Like follow both of our YouTube channels, please.
Please do.
Like, it's such like it's so lame, but that's what it actually takes to like go to the next thing. And I'm not even talking about making money. I'm just really talking about it's cool, and I respect the I'm sure you feel the same way or whatever. Like I don't know, like speaking for myself, it's like I'm proud of what I do, and I wish more people would see it because I think that they would genuinely enjoy it. But um, I'm still gonna do it for myself because I want to see it. Like I want to see that content, so I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Kind of.
A lot of self-drive, huh? There's got to
What's
be
up?
doing self-drive when you're doing a self-produced show for more than fucking one episode. There's got to be a lot of self-drive.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And it comes in waves. Like I know you've taken breaks and stuff. Like for me, it comes in waves where it's like some days I can't get it out of my head and I can't wait to get back here and edit. And then other times I'm like, I just wake up in the morning. I want to go skate. I just want to be a regular person without
Right,
this.
not do it, not edit, not podcast, not think about podcasting or like think about what you're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean, it's
sorry. I'm
nice.
sorry. Go ahead.
It's nice stepping away. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, you've mentioned you've stopped on and off. I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you ever fucking needed a break. I want to come back with it, kind of. I just need to do it. You know what I mean? I need to have somebody over and do it. Now I'm in I'm in my office right now. I have my own office
Hell yeah.
in my apartment. So like now I can do podcasts. It's pretty much just where I keep my guitars and like old skateboards, but it's my office.
Yeah.
I got all my microphones, but so I do want to bring the pod back. I mean, even if this live show doesn't continue, we should definitely do a pod together again. Like I have I have the same person on my show all the time. I mean, it's been probably about a year since we've done a podcast.
I think so. Yeah, I'm down for that, and I'm down to do more of these as well. And
yeah, I was thinking maybe even in like we could do it in even a week. We could do it in 2 weeks. It doesn't need to be every week. I don't want it to be every week. It would suck if it was, honestly, because it's like it would be nice if this was a bi-weekly thing, once a month or something, and like have one of your friends over next week, or maybe I'll have one of my friends over, and we can just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And like no pressure on any guests or we can just. Sometimes it's easy to talk over each other's on this webcam. It seems so. I can imagine it gets more difficult the more people involved.
Yeah. So I'm a little like how we can't really go in and edit out we can't edit out, right? You can trim on an end. So like
That's all you can really do.
Those lags are in there, right? As far as
I'm pretty sure the lags are in there.
Yeah.
Unless somehow you were to download the YouTube video and then edit, which you don't want us to do. I mean, I don't want to do that. But
no, that
I mean,
defeats the whole
so
purpose.
I think the lags had something to do with my phone. This drained my phone battery, by the way. I had like 87%, and I've had to be that every time I charged my phone, it was it was fucking up. And then I'd take it out and it would work. My battery is real low right now, but I mean, we can keep going. But I would like to be able to do this on a computer, and if more people got involved with it, that'd be great because like we could have people in the chat and chit chat. But that's only if people wanted it.
I was hoping we were gonna be on the computer because I was gonna go on Instagram Live on my phone and be like, "Yo, check out what's going on YouTube." And
right,
then
I actually planned on doing that too, and like I was actually hoping to be able to like because on my show, something I like kind of pride myself on is like I don't like to open up my phone and dig for like whatever. I don't really do news stories, but whatever story or thing I'm talking about, I like to just be able to talk nonstop. I was thinking this would be a good time for me to be able to, look at my phone, not look at my phone, but look something up, be like this shit, not show you. You understand what the fuck I'm saying?
like, yeah, like reference.
More free form. Look what I'm doing now. I'm not going anywhere with the words coming out of my mouth. I'm just talking.
And I would love to put out the bat signal, like make it somehow, if we're doing it like live on a semi-regular basis, if we can figure out how to do it on a desktop, we can be like, yo, fucking text me or call me, send me a question, whatever.
Yeah, fun stuff like that, and people can just pop on. We get a couple friends to pop on for even 5 or 10 minutes each. There's a pretty good. These all don't have to be 90 minutes or whatever. Some of them could be 40 minutes, and if it's good chit chat, it's good chit chat. But I'm actually inspired by a lot of people repurpose streams for podcasts. That's how I got into a lot of earlier podcasting. Was got a lot of live guitar streams or something like that, and then you can listen to the audio later. So something like that would be interesting to explore with this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff we could do. And I don't know why it's making us do it on the phone right now. But that's also an advantage, too, because we can be super mobile.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know why it's doing it on the fucking phone. You're right. When I looked it up and I was like, I'm pretty sure I have this in the bag. I can do this. I kind of was looking at the same directions I was telling you how to do it on your phone, but I figured it'd do the same thing on the computer, you know? So we'll figure it out. It's a trial and error. I never said I was good at this.
I can't imagine that they would make a feature for one platform and not the other. Like
Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised, dude.
yeah,
Things
yeah,
are fucked. I mean, does it make sense? And I do
doesn't
agree
make
with
it
you to a point, but does it make sense? Like,
doesn't make any sense.
yes, but I don't think they would. Apple makes it so you can't use like certain products on their fucking phones, you know?
Yeah,
It's incredible. I don't know. I try, but I would like to get just a better. So the phone's not dying. I could keep the laptop plugged in, you know, shit like that. But in due time, I mean, we can try this again in another week or 2 weeks or something, figure something out. And I mean, I would like just to keep it chill. It was nice that a couple people popped in here, even though what was the spam from?
I don't know. It's just M.
Germany or something, was it? My cat's free.
Yeah. Oh shit. This might be a good time to wrap it up. The 96-minute mark. And I don't know if Ian. Are you there, brother? Oh. God damn it. Well, it's been a thing.